I walk street by street. We have about 30 houses. And then the funny part, if you guys drive on Linden Road, 330 Linden Road, that house was one of the beautiful houses in town. I mean, in our world. Those people just walk away. The weeds were about that high. People were complaining about that. And I told them, this is the role of your councilman. You should not tell me who's supposed to cut the grass. I call Councilman Jamal Ali. Within 12 hours, they cut those grasses. Okay? This is why we need to work together. As your councilman, I'm not going to be your intermediary, and I'm going to try to resolve as many issues. Not even before you call me, because I'll be walking the ward. I will see the issues. Thank you.
I unlike my learned opponent here, I disagree that there is not opportunity to reduce taxes. One of the things that I proposed last year was a revaluation of our tax assessments, our assessed values. Now, statute provides that that should be done really every 10 years. Now, we're at a level right now where we're 20 years in and we haven't had a reval done. What happens once you've allowed so much time to pass is that, of course, the market and values change. But that notwithstanding, you find that you have a great number of people that may have made improvements, that may have done additional work on their properties, that should be paying more, should be paying what we call their fair share, but they're paying significantly less. And then you, the neighbor, who may not have done anything on your property for 10, 15, 20 years, you're in some instances paying more than the person who didn't go and, follow the proper procedure in order to get the applications, the construction permits and things that they need. So in essence, what we have right now is we have a skewed tax rate because we haven't done a reval in 20 years. What happens when you have a skewed tax rate is that you allow or you provide the opportunity for commercial businesses, because they're the ones with the deep pockets, not you, not I. You provide them with the opportunity to go into court to appeal their tax bills. And because they have the deep pockets, they fight our attorneys, they fight our tax assessors. And let me just say that last year alone, we lost so many tax appeals based on this skewed tax rate because the reval hasn't been done now in 20 years, that all of the anticipated revenues that we thought we were getting from our commercial base, albeit very small, we didn't get. So then council has to try to determine where they're going to get that money. So I think we need to bite the bullet. You've elected people to be strong, to stand, and notwithstanding what has happened over in Orange and in some other places, Roselle is different. And we can't just base what has happened there and take it as something that's going to happen here. I think we need to bite the bullet and do what we have to do to safeguard our residential property owners. To add to that, yes, bringing new businesses actually is one of my platforms. I'm an economic redevelopment attorney. That notwithstanding, we have to find ways to bring new businesses in and not give them a tax abatement. Here we are again talking about their fair share. We can't place the full burden on our residents. You who live here, you who've grown up here, you're putting all of your sweat and your blood into your homes and your lives here, and then the business people who don't live here, some of them, who drive out of our community. Yes, we want them here, but we have to create other opportunities, and they are there. There are options for them besides tax abatements. So I'd like to say that, and thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, next question. Harrison Avenue has a lot of little children. Drivers speed between 7th and Mercer. How and what will you do to help the residents remedy the problem? Also, we do not have a speed limit sign on Harrison Avenue. Ms. Samuel?
This issue is very dear to my heart because almost 3 years ago to the date that I got elected, actually on the very day, a young boy was hit by a car on Drake Avenue. As we were, getting the numbers in and we realized that we were victorious, then came the news that this young man, who I knew his family, his grandmother, and everybody, that he had been hit. So this is a problem really very dear to my heart. And since then, we have actually been advocating to install what they call traffic calming, and which you may know as speed bumps and things like that. and also to install four-way stop signs. The problem that we've had, unfortunately, is that presently there is a law that requires each municipality to apply to the State Department of Transportation, Big Brother, to get the go-ahead to get some of this stuff done. I'm glad to say, though, that I read in the paper just a week ago that there is a proposed bill by some of our South Jersey assemblymen and senators that will remove that checks and balances. So now, once we do our study, which we have done on many of our areas, like Drake Avenue, Harrison, Thompson, portions of Thompson and portions of Sheridan, 2nd Avenue, I know there's a problem down there by Park Street. So, you know, we've done our studies there, and we've compiled our information, and now we have to put it in an application to DOT. What we're hopeful is that by the time the DOT assesses the full and complete application, that the bill would have passed, and that in essence we would be able to install those things. As far as stop signs or speed limit signs are concerned, state statute provides that where there are no speed limit signs posted, that 25 miles per hour is the speed limit. So that notwithstanding, even though there are no speed signs posted on Harrison Avenue, 25 miles per hour is the speed limit, and should anyone be caught, whether it's by radar, whether it's by pacer, anything like that that's permitted pursuant to law, going over the speed limit, they will be issued a ticket. That notwithstanding, I know that last year some of our officers, if you are a resident and you know they know you and you're a resident in town and you're caught speeding, what they've tried to do, given the burden, the tax burden and the expenses that you already incur, they've tried to say to you, unless you were going excessively high, if you're just going 5-10 miles, in some instances they have said to you, slow down, this is your first warning, if you're caught again, you're going to get a ticket. So we're trying to work with residents, but at the same time make sure that our children are safe and that residents are safe. Thank you.
The question came from a Harrison resident, but walking the whole ward, it's not just Harrison. I was at Oak Park yesterday, saw people speeding. Park, like Sally just mentioned, Park is 2nd, so many accidents there, they're asking for a light. By me on Hamilton and 3rd Avenue, people just taking those full stop. On Thompson Avenue, by the park, there's no light, no sidewalk, you know, you name it. This is why we need a councilman that can work for you. I'm not coming here to tell you, you know, those are issues I'm working on. Do you guys know, as of yesterday, we have 56 police officers, okay? We don't have a police chief in town. Why? This is the reason that you need a councilman that can have a police chief in town and you hold them accountable for it. You know, the police chief, safety, speed, drugs, it's a police department.
Thank you.
Councilman Sally is the commissioner of the police department. I talked to the captain this morning. He told me I haven't talked to Sally for years. Okay? So this is the issue. We got 2 dispatchers. One is dead, one is left the force. We have a shortage here. Why are we not hiring people to do those jobs? If you have an accident and then you don't have nobody to call, to respond for the call, what's going to happen? The firehouse is short. This is why we need a councilman. We're talking about cutting the budget. You don't have enough firemen, you don't have enough policemen, and then now you come to the residents and say, you know, I'm sorry, we're going to work on it. We don't have a full-time business administrator. That's why we cannot work on the grants. The grants are available, ladies and gentlemen. It's not something that you have to read in the paper. Your business administrator is supposed to look for grants, to bring grants, because you taxpayers cannot afford it. That's why we have to have people to open their eyes, work with the county. The county is taking a lot of our money. We need to work with the county, bring some of the county money here. You know, I mean, like, I'm looking at Christine Lenzo who wanted to do a flood control project. She went to the county, she sat down with them. She said, what's going on with that project? Okay, we need people like that to go to the town and tell them, you paying taxes, we don't have no light on Thompson Avenue, we don't have no sidewalk, we need that to be fixed. That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's no joke, it's not about, you know, we're gonna do it. You know, you elected 3 years ago, that's the job. You got to go after those grants, you have to hire people to do the job, because I'm not a police